Hello everybody, it's time for reading skills. It's Monday the 11th of January 2021 and it's Mrs. Edwards here. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. So this week's text is one of our reading scheme books and it's called How to Be an Ancient Egyptian in 13 Easy Stages by a man called Scowler Anderson. So let's do a little bit of text talk now. So have a look at the cover. Do you think this is going to be a fiction book or a non-fiction book? And how do you know? So think about it. Fiction books are books that are made up. They are stories. And non-fiction books are full of real facts and real information. So you think about what our afternoon Encompass topic is all about. It's all about Egypt this term, isn't it? So I think, if you agree with me, because we know we are learning about something from history, it's going to be a non-fiction book. And if you have a look at the cover, what else can we learn? Well, there's a picture here of a lady, I think it is. So I think it's quite possible that we're going to be learning about people like this lady here. So this is our text for today. Stage 1, get on the river. The country of Egypt lies at the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea. The people called the ancient Egyptians lived in this land 5,000 years ago. The River Nile is the longest river in the world and flows through the middle of Egypt. Most of the land in Egypt was dry desert and rocky hills. Few ancient Egyptians went into the desert. They thought it was a dangerous and scary place. Instead, they lived near the River Nile. The water on the Nile made the riverbanks green with trees, bushes, and flowers. Farmers could grow crops in the rich, damp soil. There were no roads. If you were an ancient Egyptian, you used the river to travel up and down the country. The Nile was busy with all sorts of boats. And here at the bottom of the page, we've got an example of some of those boats. And in this boat, we can see a rich businesswoman going on a trip. In this one, we can see a farmer moving some cows. In this one, we can see a big ship carrying heavy cargo, like sacks of grain or blocks of stone. And then in this little boat here, we can see fishermen with boats made of reeds, and the reeds have been tightly bound together with rope. Oh, and if we look very carefully, we can even see a little crocodile. Okay. So today's focus, Monday's focus today is retrieve. What do I mean by retrieve? What are retrieval skills? Have a little think for a minute. So retrieval skills are the ones where we're like a dog going to fetch a bone, aren't we? We are going into that text and we are retrieving the information we need. So let's look at question 1. It says, what is the name of the sea that Egypt lies at the eastern end of? So if I make my picture a little bit bigger, what is the name of the sea that Egypt lies at the eastern end of? So if I get my highlighter, the key words there are eastern end, aren't they? Because they are going to help us find the information. And if you go into the text, you can see there it is, eastern end. So let's reread that sentence. The country of Egypt lies at the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea. So the Mediterranean Sea. So can we see there? Mediterranean. Okay? So we're now going to put that into a sentence, aren't we? So let me just get rid of this. Make the picture a little bit smaller again. So we're writing in full sentences. Our presentation is going to be beautiful, of course. Mrs. Edwards can't model for you at home, but I am sure your presentation is going to be absolutely beautiful, as always. Okay, so let's get you on the line where you're supposed to be. There we go. Egypt, it's a funny word to spell Egypt is. Egypt lies at the eastern end of the Mediterranean. Oh, that's a big word, isn't it? And it's got a capital letter because it's a proper noun, remember. Egypt lies at the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea. So that would be your answer for number 1, lovelies. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Find and copy a commas in a list sentence. So let's have a look. Let's go big again. Remember, commas in a list are when we use adjective, comma, adjective, and adjective. So if we scan through the text, can you spot any commas? And if you can spot commas, are they being used in a commas in a list sentence? Let's have a look. Okay, and if you're like me, you've all spotted it. The water on the Nile made the riverbanks green with trees, comma, bushes and flowers. So you now need to copy that in your best handwriting as answer number 2, please. Why don't you pause the video while you do that? Okay, let's move on. And then your last 2 questions, my lovely, I'm going to ask you to do independently. So, still using the same page. What would farmers move on the Nile? So your answer is going to be something along the lines of, farmers would move on the Nile. What would they move on the Nile? And the information is on these 2 pages. And question number 4 today is, what 2 materials were fishing boats made of? So if you find that information, you need to put that in a full sentence. Something along the lines of, fishing boats were made of and Please don't forget your capital letters and full stops. I am looking forward to seeing this work later. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you tomorrow for some more reading skills. Bye-bye.